So starting with the front end, to start writing our front end code, which is going to be basically HTML and CSS code, we will need a code editor, a very good code editor that will let us write our code, read our code, and interpret our code as easy as simple as possible. So for that, let's head into Google and look for some of the best code editors we can find. So let's head to Google Chrome. Let's just check coding text editors. Yeah, let's see some of the best. Yeah, so instantly we are hit with some code editors. You can see Sublime Text, Atom, Vim. So all these are code editors you can use to write your code. I think some of the most common one we're used to, which is Notepad, which is available right out of the box on your machine. Now all these are very good code editors, but we are going to be using Visual Studio Code, and I would explain why just in a moment. So let's just type VS Code download. Yeah, so this is it. Yeah, so as you can see, it's available on every platform. It's on Windows, it's on Linux, it's on Ubuntu, it's on Mac OS. So whatever a platform you're currently using, there's a version available for you. So we're just going to look at some of the reasons why VS Code is actually good. Let's look at the documentation. Yes, you can see, VS Code is a bit robust. It has this autocomplete features. It has intelligent code completion. And it has extensions. It has so many extensions. Python for every language. It has a marketplace that you can, download whatever extension you need. It has keyboard shortcuts and all that, and it supports a lot of technologies. So right here you can see why VS Code is very powerful, very rich, and it's a very free tool. You don't have to pay for it. It's free. So that's the reason why we're choosing VS Code over all these other code editors. All right, so you can go right ahead and download it and have it on your local, and we'll install it. So we have VS Code downloaded. We'll go straight ahead and install it on our local machine. Yeah, accept the terms. Choose the path. Choose the name. I definitely want to create a desktop shortcut icon. I want to check this so that we'll be able to open our files with VS Code and all that. So click on next and click on install. So we are installing VS Code on our device. So basically this is what we're going to use throughout our journey on using on coding. We'll use VS Code throughout our journey. So feel free to use any code editor you want. There are other paid code editor with powerful extensions, but VS Code is gives you basically what you want for free. So let's launch VS Code. Yep, so this is it. Yeah, you see, you can choose your theme. You choose your light theme, dark theme, whatever you want. So this is actually cool. You can choose theme, but I suggest you go with the dark theme because you're going to spend a lot of time looking at it and you don't want to hurt your eyes. So let's go with the dark theme. So we have extensions. These are a lot of extensions. So you can see there are recommended extensions. There are a lot of extensions you can download. So that's why one of the reasons why VS Code is good. So yeah, so you can just feel free to play around with it, but this is not the main reason why we are using VS Code. We're actually using VS Code just to write our codes. So yeah, so let's get started. So to get started, basically, you go to your desktop. Let's go to desktop and create a new folder. Let's just create a new folder and call it HTML. Let's just call it HTML. Okay. So we have our new folder called HTML on the desktop. So we go to back to VS Code and you open a folder and you go to desktop. Desktop. Yeah. So this is our new folder. Okay. Good. Now we are in the HTML folder. Yes, I trust myself. So we're in the HTML folder. As you can see, there's nothing inside this folder. Just basically, we're just displaying this folder in the VS Code just for you to see. It's empty. There's nothing in the folder. So if you come back to VS Code and create a new file, this file plus, just create a new file just so you see that you're just accessing the folder from VS Code, nothing special. Let's say index, let's call the file index.html. Okay, so we have a new file here. And if we go back into the folder, yep, you'll see we have index.html. So nothing special, we're just manipulating the folder from VS Code. Okay, gives you that special ability. So let's write some codes. Let's write some codes. So there are different tags in HTML. That's some basic tags I'd like to talk about, which you'll be using often, But I just want to demo something real quick so you can see. Remember, we used index.html here, and immediately the system picked it up as where's the folder? Yeah, the system picked it up using Google Chrome. So it means because Google Chrome is our default browser, so because we have that .html extension, it's already picking up a Google Chrome kind of a file. So if we open this file, we'll have a blank file. Let's use Google Chrome just so you see. So you see we have a very blank file. That's because there's nothing. We'll go back to VS Code. There's nothing in the file. Yeah, that's correct. Our file is blank. So let's use a p tag. P is for paragraph in VS Code. So you see that once you open angle brackets, you click on you type P. Then notice that once I close the brackets, that's one good auto completion that VS Code gives you. Once you close the brackets, it closes the P tag for you. You don't have to now close it again. Just a plus that VS Code gives you. So let's write hello world. I am learning how to code. Okay, so now we created this this tag. Now we need to save it. This white ball is telling us that we haven't saved it yet. So to save it, just Control S, and then this is saved. And let's go back to our Google Chrome file. So if we refresh it now, you see that we now have our file. So you can see that we've started creating our our web page. We now have a web page. We've started creating elements. So this element is just a HTML element. Okay, let's create another tag. Let's use h1. So there are different tags. We'll go through all the tags, but just want to show you that we have started writing real codes. So let's say h1. Let's close it, and then let's use the same thing. Let's just copy this guy here and paste it here, and let's save it again. Remember, if you don't save, you won't get the latest value. See, if I refresh, I didn't save, so I will not get it. So this is a common mistake people make. Even I make this mistake sometimes. When I'm in a hurry, I don't save, and I'll just not see my changes. So if I save and go back here and refresh, yep, we now have two elements. So you notice that this is small and this is big. That's correct, because H1 is the largest character, is the largest heading. So H1 is big and P is just for paragraph. P is small. So as you can see, we've started writing our, we started coding, we started writing codes that we can see, and we can access from our browser, which I explained earlier. We are accessing the code from our browser. As you can see, we're accessing it from Google Chrome. Okay, so I hope you are excited, and I hope you are eager to learn more. So I think in the next video we're going to look at all the tags. But then before we go, if you're new here, please like and subscribe to this channel, so whenever I drop new content you get notified instantly. So don't worry about what we're currently doing right now. We're just going through the basics, and it can be a bit tedious, but believe me, we're going to be building more beautiful user interfaces in no time. You just need to understand the basics. You cannot make brick without clay, so we just need to understand the basics. Then we'll now start arranging everything to create beautiful and responsive user interfaces.